Hi, today I'm going to review for you the Samsung 18 cubic foot French door refrigerator with countertop depth freezer. Now I've already done some cleaning on this, but I did record it while I was doing it. I'm going to go ahead and go back to a previous recording I made earlier and show some stuff to you before I get on with the review. Now let's go ahead and switch over to that one right now. Say it's a nice refrigerator. They packed it pretty well, but I must say I don't understand why Samsung, in order to label these handles during packing so the installers know how to put them back together, they use stickers. And because of that, as you can see, there is glue from those stickers left on the handles. That's like they go through all the effort of packing it to make sure everything comes out nice, and then they use adhesive stickers that won't come off when you try to remove it. I don't understand why Samsung did that. To me, that is not a very smart thing they did. Now it's becoming quite a chore trying to get those stickers off and the adhesive left behind from it. So as you can see, using the packing tape, I was able to remove all the adhesive on the door handles. And I'll go ahead and show you again on the bottom one. So you can see all that adhesive still there when the tape was removed. I'm trying to do this with one hand. So put the tape on it. You can see as I lift, I'll maybe be able to see, but you can see all the adhesive coming off on the packing tape that was on the refrigerator. And now you can see most of it's off. And you just have to do that repeatedly. As necessary to get the rest of the adhesive off. As you can see, almost all of it is off. There's just a couple pieces left, and I can work on that on my own without y'all watching. So hopefully that will help some people with the pain of trying to remove that adhesive off the handles. Alright. Well, let's go ahead and take a better look at this refrigerator on the inside. Let's go ahead and open it up. You can see those LED lights make the inside of the refrigerator nice and bright. You got yourself 3 shelves. You got a little movable fresh box here. And you have 2 places for vegetables, little humidity control right there. You'll notice that the shelves are not that tall. So for things like gallon jugs of milk or bottles, you'll actually need to use the spots on the door instead. These are big enough to handle a gallon or tall bottles, but this is not. You probably could if you removed the second shelf, but why would you do that? You would lose a lot of space. If you look on the top, you'll see some digital controls here. On the left hand side, let's see if I can zoom in better. There we go. The left hand side is your freezer. You got an ice off button. Basically, if you don't want the ice maker to function, you just want to turn it off, you'd use this button here. Power freeze. This will do a powerful freezing on the freezer, which will run for 2.5 hours. So it will disregard whatever temperature you have set, and it will just try to do a power freeze for it. The freezer button, this basically controls what temperature you want your freezer to be. You'll see here that it's recommended to have a -2 Fahrenheit. Currently it's down to 10 right now. It's still working on it, and I've got it set for -2. It's just that this refrigerator was plugged in not too long ago. And on the right hand side, you've got your refrigerator controls. The fridge button is also used for controlling the temperature of your fridge. It's set for 38. 38 is what's recommended, and 38 is the default when you first turn it on. If you hear that beeping, that is the door jar notification right there that the door has been open for a while, so it's beeping to let you know that the doors are not closed or it's not completely closed. And here you have the power cool button. What this button does is it will cool the refrigerator down to either 25 degrees Fahrenheit, or it will cool the refrigerator down for 2.5 hours, whichever comes first. Once the refrigerator side hits 25 degrees, it will go ahead and stop and return back to the normal refrigerator function. If it never reaches 25 degrees Fahrenheit, it will just keep power cooling as long as it can until it hits 2.5 hours runtime. And the last button is going to be your energy saver. And it's just as the button implies, if you want to try to save energy, go ahead and use that. And you'll see here that it has something labeled twin cooling. Basically what that is that this refrigerator comes with two evaporators, one controlling the refrigerator, one controlling the freezer. So a lot of refrigerator freezers originally have it is that the refrigerator would normally be cooled by the air coming from the freezer portion of it. And because of this, if you have odors on one side or the other, it will get to the other side. By having two evaporators, the refrigerator and freezer is completely separated, so if you have odors on one, it will not infect the other side. Let's go ahead and check out the freezer portion of it. Let me close this. And here you'll see there are two compartments in the freezer, or rather two shelves. Here's the lower bin, and you want the upper bin, you would just go ahead and pull it out. The left side of it is going to be where the ice maker will drop all the ice, and then you have the right side here to store more stuff. And again, if you don't want the ice feature, you can turn it off and the bin just comes right up. It's not a big deal. One thing I will make note of though, which I did not realize at first, is that this refrigerator does not come with a built-in water filter. If you want a water filter on this, you actually have to buy it separately, and you will have to cut the water line in the back of the refrigerator and mount the water filter in there, in the back of it, on the back of the refrigerator itself. I was really surprised when I saw that. The bad thing about not having the water filter is, especially if you live in an area with hard water, you can get a lot of calcium buildup inside your water lines and inside the components of the freezer because of that. So I will probably be looking into getting the external water filter for this, just to avoid any possible issues with the hard water that I've got over here. One thing I do like about this is, me coming from a side-by-side refrigerator, I've got a lot more space in here side by side now compared to how it was before. It's like my original refrigerator was a 27 cubic foot, and this is 18 cubic foot. But looking at it, I could probably fit everything I had in my 27 into this one, especially with the nice width that this thing has, how wide it is. I'm really going to like that portion of it. It is a beauty. I really do like these digital controls on top of it. Again, my old one only had a little sliding knob, or sliding handle, that was numbered 1 through 10, as if you could really know what the temperature is by looking at numbers 1 through 10. Right here you can open the door and immediately see what the temperature is of the refrigerator, and immediately see what the setting is for it. All in all, this is a really nice refrigerator. And even though I'm dropping from a 27 cubic foot to an 18 cubic foot, I'm not really sure I'm going to miss it too much. All I'll have to do is just figure out a more efficient way of putting everything inside the freezer and the refrigerator, and I should be good. I hope you enjoyed getting a nice look at this refrigerator as much as I enjoyed showing it to y'all. And there's the refrigerator letting me know my door's been open for a while again. Thank you for watching my video.